Have we talked about the difference between balance and harmony and how those two things keep coming up?
No, but I would please say more words. What's the distinction?
So I'm trying to parse it out for myself.
Amazing.
Balance feels like two things are equal.
Okay.
You're trying to find like an equal footing versus harmony feels more in flow. So I've heard more people recently say like, I'm trying to find harmony. Like I'm trying to create harmony in my life. And I was like,
I like that.
I like that a lot too. And it's just been like in the back of my mind, figuring out like, one, trying to figure out what the differences are. And then two, like what is the feeling behind both of them? Because balance sometimes feels like urgency and rush is connected to that desire.
Like to make things equal.
Yes. It's like everything in my life has to be equal. And I also think that this adds to like, we're monitoring everything right now.
Yeah.
Like I can monitor my sleep and be like, I slept 6.5
too
hours
much
and it
data
was
available.
94%. And we're so like engulfed in making sure everything is balanced.
Or like optimized or like,
Yes.
yeah.
So those are, you know how words are co-opted? It feels like the word balance has been co-opted. And I think I'm moving towards harmony.
I like that.
Until it gets co-opted.
Right, it will get co-opted. Yeah, I think like when I think about, I haven't thought about those two words like that. I think when I think about balance, well, one, like I think that's part of why I let my watch die so often, like my Apple Watch. I'm just like, I don't
need this amount of information.
Like I don't, like I hope I walked enough. I don't know. Like, was it 10,000
you trust
steps?
that what you did during the day?
I moved around as much as I was necessary for me to move around for the day that I was having. Was it enough? I don't know. Maybe not.
Right, but what is enough?
Yeah.
And how did we decide that this is the number that's enough?
And like, I just like, it just wasn't like, it was stressing me out to try to track it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I literally like, there was a point where like, I think it was like last year where I was trying to get 10,000 steps a day and in the midst of being busy. So I would just like be walking at night. I'm like, I was like, this is just not a good use of my time.
Just going around and around and
in my
around.
house. Yes, like in my house.
No, I know
like,
too deeply.
Yeah. I was like, this is not a good use of my time. So like the way that I shifted then, which I guess maybe is more harmony, is like, if I could walk somewhere, I'd walk somewhere.
Yeah.
Was the swap, right? Like I'd walk to like work or I'd walk to the train, whatever. Instead of like choosing convenience, I try to give myself a bit more time to do like to walk instead. And like maybe it wasn't 10,000 steps, whatever. So that was such a easy.
It's probably more.
You know,
because
exactly.
we would used to be walking an hour and a half.
Yeah, and I still do. Like if I can, if I have the time, like I'd rather walk. Like I used to. There was 1 week of time where I walked to BU. It was very early and it was like too long, but it was nice. It was like an hour and a half. It was 2 hours, but it's such a straight shot to get from here all the way there.
What did you notice on your walk, if anything?
That Boston's very hilly. I noticed that. And I was like, damn, it's hot. So I noticed.
Yeah, especially in this time of year.
Yeah, it was warm. But I think it was also just like, I was like, your feet take you anywhere. Yeah. And I could have obviously hopped on a car or whatever, hopped on a bus or a train, but it was just like, I was trying to see, like, in my head, like, what it felt like to navigate it. And, like, that was just because I gave myself time. So, like, the swap for, like, letting I don't even know where my watch is. It dies, like, once a month. And I'm like, for a month, I don't got no watch, which is fine. So even like closing rings, like it was like this, I just,
it becomes competitive.
Yeah. And I was getting overwhelmed by like, I didn't close it. I don't know. So for me, I was like, I just need to like make sure that I'm moving my body every day in a way that is reasonable. Like today, like I didn't exercise, but I was like outside planting things. If I move my body, that's whatever. It's going to have to count. So it was helpful to like stop doing that. So when you were saying balance and harmony, I was thinking about like doing like this all like optimizing movement, all those things. I feel like takes up so much more time than just living your life. Like,
yes.
And like doing those things in the flow of living your life, which, you know, so
it feels like
so
we're still
stressful.
living in the analytical mind when we are trying to optimize.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we've been talking about.
Yeah. Like it was stressing me out. So for me, like, I don't think it was like a conscious choice, but I know that like my watch dying is not an issue for me. I know some people who are like, it died, I can't go anywhere. I'm like, so I can't track I don't know. Like I was like, maybe I don't know. I know that there's some like excitement when you see the numbers and it's high and that's helpful, but it can't be like, you always have to like let go of it for it to not feel like you need it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. And I was thinking about harmony. I feel like I always navigate more like that than when you're defining the difference. I think it makes more sense to me. Like I'm never trying to make things equal. I'm just trying to be as present when I'm doing something as possible.
Yeah.
If I'm working, I'm working. If I'm not working, I'm not working. That's the balance I want to find, is that like I'm doing whatever I'm doing completely versus like, you know, like hand in many pots at the same time.
Yeah.
Like it's like an effective way for me to move. But I like the distinction. Yeah, balance is trickier. I understand, like, when you have too much of one thing, you want to find the opposite experience. So, like, that makes sense to me to balance it out. Like, if I ran a long time, then I want to, like, sit for a long time. Like, I understand, like, the equilibrium of balance. That makes sense to me. What I like about harmony, what it feels like it offers is, like, it doesn't have to be consistent. It just has to, like, still fill the same, like, space.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to, but it can fill the same space.
The reason why I defined harmony the way that I did is because I do think it allows you to move with the flow.
Yeah.
It allows you to be present to your point of like where your feet currently are, who's around you, what you're noticing around you versus feeling like, oh, it has to look this way. And because I think that we have a certain idea of what balance means for each person.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like something we're always trying to reach.
Yeah.
Versus it's like we're in the world, we're living, we're existing. One, we're doing the best that we can, and this could look differently. And earlier in this season, we had talked about the concept of reorientation. And it almost, to me, like this idea around balance and harmony feels like a reorientation of like my life.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how am I orienting myself? If I'm orienting myself towards balance and like optimizing, then I do need my watch to track every single thing that I'm doing, everything that I'm eating, right? Even your shoulders now are like, oh my God.
So much data. It's so much data.
So much data.
And there's like obviously data is useful. And maybe think about our episode about discipline, right? Discipline feels like the thing, like if we're making a correlation between balance, it'd be discipline, right?
Yeah.
Like there's some sort of like routine. And in some ways, like, yes, it's useful. Like I think about discipline and balance when I think about like what I cook or what I make. Like I make sure like I don't know, like I don't have like sugary snacks in my house. Like that to me is like just not, but like I'm not then tracking like the amount of whatever, right? Like there's more ways to and like depending on what you're doing, you know, it's useful. For me it made me so much less, I looked less into like, I just didn't want to cook anymore. I was like, I don't want to do all this. I'm not measuring. I'm not doing this. Right. But I know I'm going to like make sure I'm eating like healthy things.
Right.
I'm just going to do that.
Right.
And before all this data, people lived life and they didn't die. I don't know. Like they were fine. They were healthy.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point.